performance, a clinical performance by the baggy greens. They dominated all the three facets of the game, and now they go level on points table with 4 points and are now joint toppers of Group 1. So Nikhil, a clinical performance by Australia, who just simply dominated the run chase.
Absolutely, Atishay. A brilliant performance by Australia. They restricted Sri Lanka with the ball. Sri Lanka would have hoped for 10 to 15 more runs, but then a brilliant performance by Australia with the bat. David Warner back into form, and when Warner scores, Australia seldom loses. It's very important for Australia that Warner scored the way he did. Not only did he score a 50, but he scored it at quick time. All the big shots were back. Beware every other team in the group and in the tournament. David Warner is back. This makes Australia, very, very dangerous. Remember, Atishay, Australia, when they entered this tournament, had the worst win-loss ratio amongst all teams in 2021. Worst. They had lost 11 and won just 5 of their matches in 2021. It was even lower than Bangladesh, West Indies, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka. But now, with 2 wins in 2 matches, Australia are back in business, and only a strong punter will bet against them from not making it to the semis.
Well, definitely, Nikhil, a commanding performance by the baggy greens. Now, for a second, let's just focus on David Warner, because today was the match which every Australian fan was waiting for, to see the return of one of their favourite batsmen, one of their main guns when it comes to batting. And what an innings by David Warner. He just made a mockery of this run chase, and he also, the kind of start which he gave along with Aaron Finch in the power play, I think that was the deciding factor in the game. Although he didn't manage to clear the fence on even one occasion, but those 10 boundaries were absolutely crunching shots, one which you associate with David Warner. So now that David Warner is back in form, how dangerous you think this Australian side is going to be?
Very, very dangerous. David Warner in form is 30 to 40% of Australia's batting. He is the match winner in this team, in this format. In Test cricket, they also have Steven Smith. But in this format, he is the match winner, along with Glenn Maxwell. Maxwell is already in good form. He didn't click in this match, but Maxwell has been in great form for RCB. But Warner coming back to form with the kind of bowling lineup they have, which we already discussed in the mid-innings show, Zampa, Hazelwood, Mitchell Starc, it makes Australia very, very dangerous. Remember, Australia does not have a great record in WT20 cricket. They also don't have a great record in overall T20Is. They've never won the World T20. Surprising for a team, which has, which won 3 World Cups in a row, which has won 5 World Cups overall. So it is surprising that they haven't won a tournament like the World T20. Coming back to Warner. Warner, we said in the mid-innings show, has a great record against Sri Lanka. Now he has scored 512 runs in 13 innings against them, Atishay, at an average of 57, strike rate of almost 140. So which means clearly he fancies the Sri Lankan bowling. As I said, teams beware.
Also, Warner has become only the first batsman in international T20Is to score 500 or more runs against Sri Lanka, beg your pardon, in T20 international cricket. So another feather in the cap for the Southpaw. Now, also talking about the overall performance, Nikhil, this is just the kind of performance which, just give that bit of boost to confidence going forward to this Australian side. Because with the ball, all their 3 main bowlers, Zampa, Hazelwood and Starc performed, and when it comes to batting, Aaron Finch got some run, Warner obviously got a half century, Smith and Stoinis remained not out, Maxwell failed, but you can give him one innings here and there, it is bound to happen. So now moving forward, this performance is certainly going to be a massive boost for the Australian cricket team. Now to give you a brief of how things panned out in Dubai, Australian captain Aaron Finch won the toss and he opted to field first. Kushal Perera and Sri Lanka were going great guns, but they lost wickets. But Sri Lanka lost 4 wickets in quick succession, and that completely took their innings off the tracks. They just managed to score 154 runs for the loss of 6 wickets. And Australia were just clinical in their run chase. They chased down the target with 3 overs to spare and with 7 wickets intact. So now moving forward, Nikhil, so again a clinical performance as we have spoken about. Now we have 2 important games lined up for tomorrow. The afternoon game is between West Indies and Bangladesh. And the second one, the big one, which all 1.3 billion Indians will have their eyes on, is between Afghanistan and Pakistan. So how do you see tomorrow's fixtures panning out?
Yeah, the first match, Bangladesh-West Indies is important because both the teams have lost their opening 2 fixtures in the Super 12 group stage. If they lose a third one of them tomorrow, that team is more or less out of reckoning for the semi-finals. The second match, it's a huge match because if Pakistan wins, it's going according to script, like the more fancy team is winning. But Afghanistan, if Afghanistan win, then it opens up that group because there's India and New Zealand in that group, and Pakistan has already beaten India and New Zealand. Then Afghanistan also have a chance. They become the fourth team in this group which has a chance of making it to semi-finals. Also remember, this is not going to be as simple a match. There will be verbal, banter.
There is a rivalry between
there is
Afghanistan
a big
and
rivalry
Pakistan.
as it is between Afghanistan and Pakistan. They are not the most friendly of neighbors. Also, what has happened, politically back in Afghanistan in the last couple of months, and the Pakistan connection with it, there is a lot happening between the two countries. Afghanistan is not very happy with their neighbors. So it is a big match for Afghanistan. I have lots of friends from Afghanistan in Delhi, and they are saying this is the match for us. We want to win this at any cost. So tomorrow, beware, Afghanistan is going to come out all guns blazing. A lot rides on this match for them. It is much more than a match for them.
Well, you heard Nikhil right there. It's going to be a massive game tomorrow evening between Pakistan and Afghanistan, one which all the Indians will have a close eye on, especially given that India has lost their opening fixture against Pakistan, and now they are hoping not just to win all the games, but also some other results go in their way. Well, that's all from us today. Do join us tomorrow for two big games. Until then, take care and thank you so much for watching.